Greetings, I am Mr. O'Neill and I teach English Language Arts online for Stride K-12. I also coach chess as well as a few other esports for Stride K-12. And back in October of 2025, chess.com implemented a major site-wide update that resulted in much lower puzzle ratings for just about everyone, including myself. My original puzzle rating was over 2,000, well over 2,000, and now my new puzzle rating is under 2,000. So it was a complete system overhaul, not a glitch, and it fixed severe rating inflation. So for example, my peak rating on chess.com for rapid is mid 1400s. It's like 1450, 1460, something like that. And my puzzle rating was way north of 2,000. And now it's below 2,000. So it's more accurate. And still probably inflated, but not nearly as inflated as what it used to be. So the goal, as you can see, is to get to 2,000. Because I'm at 1984 right now. So I'm not streaming, but I am recording in hopes that I get over 2,000 for puzzle rating on chess.com. And let's start. I can win material. White to move. Oh, black to move. Okay, black to move. How can I win material? Oh, there's this sacrifice. Takes. And then the rook is not defended, so check and pick up the rook. That's the most forcing line that I'm seeing. Because the rook can't block, it would still be undefended. The queen wouldn't be able to block. Yeah, that's the most forcing line. No, that's not it. That's odd. Ah, queen takes. And there's a pin. And then take, I guess, again? Yeah, that's hard. I was thinking it was, takes. Well, the original line was this. This is the line I was thinking. Takes. Ah, the king doesn't have to take. The king can just slide over. Okay. So I lost a lot of rating for that for sure. I'm probably like in the 1960s now. So we'll definitely need to go on a winning streak now if we're going to get to 2,000. White to move, you have a checkmating idea, can you find it? I'm usually a little bit better at this, but it sometimes takes longer. So there's queen to f8. The king can run though. And then the bishop comes here for, no, the queen, no. There's so queen to f8, king d7. So queen f8, here, queen here, king here, to d6. No. King can't go to d6 because the queen's covering. There we go. It took long enough. I kept thinking the king could run to d6, but I kept forgetting that the queen was covering. Okay. Next puzzle. I can win a bishop. Well, I can sack the rook and then get the fork. That's probably what it wants me to do. Let's go for it. All right, there we go. On to the next one. That wasn't too bad. Checkmate is waiting if I play carefully. So there's knight c6. Yeah, but the king wants to escape to d7 is the problem. So have to prevent the king from getting to c8. So a8. Ah, no, that's not going to work. Oh, maybe it is this line. Maybe it is this. Check. Check. Ah. Check. Okay, so this is getting close. Because the rook's defending the knight and the knight's defending the rook. This is getting close. There we go. That was hard. Yeah, that was a hard one. I kept thinking a7, a8, but it wasn't working because king on b6 is not working. So it had to be that other line. Pawn promotion is inevitable. Well, I think I can just take and then take the pawn, right? Let's see. Take here, and then I have this. And then I'm promoting. There we go. Okay. We're going to keep going. You can promote a pawn. Black to move. This is hard. So rook to f8 is coming. But I can take with my own rook. But then is his king in time to stop my pawn? So like there's this. Because the rook needs to be behind the pawn. But then there's check. Takes. 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 Here. 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 I think I'm advancing in time, right? Rook b8. Here. 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 I think I'm getting it in time. That's not it, huh? Huh. Oh, that is check. Interesting. Okay, but then there's here takes takes. Am I guess I am promoting in time. That's weird. That's hard. Cuz why not that was a hard one. Why not rook b8? Yeah, this is the line and then yes, but why not this? Yeah, but I had calculated takes takes. Ah, I guess the I guess the king is coming in time. Okay, I did not calculate that accurately. Okay, so my puzzle rating's really dipped now. Definitely not at 1984 anymore. Puzzles 1965. Got a long ways to go. Down to 1965. Okay. So I need probably like 20 correct in a row, if not more. Well, takes, I'm assuming. Takes. Okay, got that one. And that's easy enough. Calculate and win material for black. Okay. So, well, I guess the queen is kind of trapped, is the whole point of 92. I guess it's not trapped, though, because it can always go back to E3. And but if E3, I've got queen to B4. Let's calculate. What if we just takes, 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 takes. I'm not seeing anything. It's got to be this, right? Yeah. I guess king takes G7 is forced. Okay. So that's 3 correct in a row. Yeah. Okay, so that was easy. Although it said it was hard, but that was easy. Okay. Black to move. If you play this right, you can win material. Okay. So I'm in check. So I guess I guess the point. Let's see. I don't want to take with the rook because then there's a double attack on d8. So I have to take with the queen. No, I can't take with the queen because there's still a double attack on d8. Ah, have to take with the queen because c4 is very vulnerable. And then take this way first because it's more forcing. And now take this way. Okay. Yeah, c4 was pretty vulnerable there. Make moves that work toward the promotion. White to move. The move is going to be G8. G8 is going to be the move. Yeah. You can't promote and take the bishop because you want this pawn to recapture the bishop on f8. You want the pawn to recapture the bishop on f8. You don't want to take with the queen. You'd rather take with the pawn for another promotion. So your next move is here, and then here, and then take. Win the knight. Well, yeah, there's knight to d4 hitting the queen, and the queen cannot easily defend the knight. Oh, I guess the knight can take. So it has to be knight to e5. And now it's pawn to g6. Yeah. This looks fine. There we go. Okay, so that's 7 correct in a row. Win the rook. But which rook? Probably the rook on h8 is what it's saying. But maybe it meant knight? It's saying rook, but it probably means knight. So takes with check. Queen takes, knight takes. But then I'm getting forked. Tricky. But I'm still winning. I think it's probably still okay. It wants the knight to fork on c7. That's what they're going for. The knight fork on c7. So check. And then check. And then take this. And then nope, that's not it, huh? I was in check. Oh, duh. Take the knight. I should have known better. Okay. Well, the rook on e2 is undefended, so I'm assuming it's takes, takes, takes. I'm assuming it's this line. No? That's not good. How did I miss that? That's crazy. White to move. What's the only path forward? Take with check. Queen takes. Oh, but they're also taking with check. Oh, but I can take with the bishop. I see. My knight's hitting their queen too. So it's takes, takes. I recapture with the bishop because I would be in check. Am I ahead of material here? They've got 3 minors. I've got 3 minors. What if I took with check? They take with the queen. I take with the bishop. But then they take me with check. I think I have to take them with check and then just take the knight with the pawn. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So we'll keep going. Capture the queen. Well, let's see. I think I take with pawn. Or I could take with queen. I think I take with queen. Their bishop has to move, and then my knight is coming into d5. Yeah, because I have a triple attack on f6. So I think taking with the queen is the way to go. Because the knight wants to come to d5, and the queen wants to be on f3. I think the move is knight to d5. So I can take with check. Yep. Just have to watch out for any tricks. Any tricks? No tricks. Okay, got that one. Nice. That might have put us over 2,000. You're right at 2,000. Take a look at the stats. Ha, 2002. Nice. First time ever. Over 2,000. After the new updated rating system for the puzzles that chess.com did back in late 2025. What an accomplishment. That was hard. Getting to over 2,000 in puzzles, that was difficult. There we go, 2002, today, March 28th, 2026. Nice. Okay, let's keep going. Calculate correctly and you'll win a queen. So it's got to be knight to c6. Queen has to go back on the dark diagonal. And then I can take en passant. Oh. I didn't even see that move. Well, what about rook to a5? That traps the queen, right? Yeah. There's also knight to a7, but then the queen can just go back, so it doesn't work. Why wouldn't you just take the rook? Okay, got that one. I just overthought that one. Just completely overthought that one. Let's do the next one. What's the only good idea in this position? Okay. These closed positions are tough, tough, tough. So maybe bishop sack, and then I can start promoting. But do I promote in time? That's the question. So takes here, 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 here. Yeah, I'm not in time. What if we sack the bishop and then go h3 to try to deflect the king away? Nope. Yeah, it's h3. I should have played h3 first. And then takes. And then takes. Yeah, that's hard. I knew h3 was in the position, I just didn't realize it had to be first. So that's really unfortunate. I wonder how far my rating went down after that. Oh, I'm still at 206? Okay, I'm still at 206, but my highest was 2011. I only lost 5 points for that, so that's not too bad. Yeah, that was a hard puzzle, 2138. That was a really hard puzzle, and I almost had it too. H3 should have come first. I knew H3 was in there. So still at 2006. Maybe I can break 2011 if I keep going. Win material for black. Well, I think the idea is rook takes on f2, check, block, check with the double attack. Yeah, let's do it. Has to move out of the way. Takes. Go out of the way. There we go. Okay, got that one pretty quickly. Because the point is that if, let's say they take, the point is that takes, the point is takes. Now there's a double attack on f1. So check, block, there's a double attack, you're going to lose your rook. So the king has to move, and you're still losing your rook because now the rook's undefended. So you're losing your rook no matter what. That's the point. And we'll go on to the next one. That was easy enough. That might have broke 2011. Maybe not. We'll solve one more and then check. Black to move. You can win if you find the checkmating idea. Okay. So there's, so the pawn, the queen, and the rook all need to work together here. So what about, so queen g1 and then rook g2, right? That's what I'm seeing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the rook and the knight, the other rook and knight were too far away to help out, so had to be the pawn, rook, and the other rook and queen. And then this pawn is clutch, keeping the king from escaping. And this rook is also clutch, keeping the king from going this way. Okay, so now we can take a look at our score. I think we broke 2011, right? Yeah, we're at 2012. There we go, broke it by 1 point. Okay, so up to 2012, so that's a new personal record, and we'll keep going. You have a checkmating idea if I can find it. White to move. So the knight, the pawn, and the king all have to work together. Knight to g7 is close. And then I'm queening, but knight takes, so it doesn't quite work. I think it has to be king to e6, knight to d6. Because the king needs to cut off the king's escape square. In fact, after king to e6, I think knight to d6 is pretty much unstoppable. Okay, there we go. Let's keep going. There's a way to end this with checkmate for white. So queen to h3 doesn't quite work. Queen to f4. Or queen f5, I mean. Queen f5. Ah. Queen d5. Why did I not see queen d5 earlier? Knight's not being defended. Why did it take so long to find that? I was overthinking it. Okay, let's keep going. Checkmate, black to move. So queen to g3. So the dark squares are weak. Okay, got that one. We'll keep going. So the so I think it's rook to d8 first. And then there's a pin, so I can take with the knight. I can take with check on the knight. And then if the king gets to g6, then there's just knight f6 right away. And then there's back rank mate. There we go. That was hard. Yeah. Okay, now let's check our score. $20.26. A quarter of the way to 2100. That's a new all-time high. We'll keep going. One material for black. Well, there's a fork. Knight to f3 is a fork. I think I'm supposed to take the rook first. And then they're threatening a queen, but if I fork them, then... Yeah, because I'm losing a rook if I do the fork first. So I have to take the rook first. No. Ah, did not even see that. So I guess we'll try this. And then now I take? No. Because there's still check again. So I have to take this way. Oh, because it comes with check. That makes sense. That was hard. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. We'll have to get a couple of right in a row to make up for that then. Win the queen. So I can get a fork. Okay. Nice fork. Win the bishop. Oh, because takes. Or not takes, but push. There we go. Okay. Win a bishop again. The queen wants to go to d4. Or it's queen b3, bishop a5, and then queen to... Queen e4, then queen to e5. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Can I win the bishop right away, though? That's the question. Oh, yeah, because the queen's going to give a check and stop the promotion. There we go. That took a while to see. So that's 3 correct in a row. Maybe did I break 2026 now? Let's check. Nope, not quite yet. I'm at 2024. So we got to do one more. Okay, let's try again. Win material, white to move. So bishop takes on f7 looks pretty scary. Yeah, because the queen wants to come in. That's crazy. That's a crazy line. Let's do it. And then... yeah, that was a brilliant move. Double exclamation point. But now the move is... it's going to be knight takes. And the rook is pinned. takes. Okay, that was hard. Got it. Now we definitely broke 2026 after that. That was a crazy line. Let's analyze. I'm glad we found that. But usually when you don't have very much in a position like this, it usually entails some kind of crazy sacrifice. And I saw it pretty quickly. So the line is, yeah, takes. King takes is forced, no other move. Double exclamation point. And now a check and the queen is activated on the light squares. So the king has to go back. If you put your king anywhere on the 6th row, then your king's really exposed. So check, takes, the pawn is pinned against the rook. So if the pawn takes, then you're losing your rook. And then takes, then you're losing your rook. With check, it's completely winning. +3 for white. And then you could try to save the rook, I guess, but then all roads lead to Rome here, and you've got lots of discovered checks. So, this would probably still win. Yeah, this is still winning. You're +1 here, but it's still +4.5 for white, so that's still winning, even though it's not a great move. There's discovered check this way. The rook has to block. Now you're losing your rook again. Takes with checkmate. So yeah, not taking the bishop is better because then you're trapping the king. Versus if you capture the bishop with the knight, then you're creating some loot for the black king. So you're going to get checkmate faster if you don't take the bishop because the king is more trapped. That's a really good puzzle. And good way to end everything. We'll check our stats one more time. Should have broken 2026. Yeah, we're at 2027 now. Nice. So new all-time high, 2027. Got 3 more points for that. And oh, that's cool. It tells you the average time. So my time is more than the average time for a lot of these. Actually, quicker than the average time for this one. Quicker than the average time for that one. But as long as you're getting them right, it's okay if your time is more than the average time as long as you're getting them right. Even if you get them wrong, you just got to learn from it. Yeah, I spent 8 minutes on this one. But I got it right. It just took forever. Actually, that 8-minute one might be a little bit inaccurate because I think I had to take a phone call. Okay. Well, it's a good way to end it. New all-time high, 2027. And if you're watching in the future on YouTube, have a great day. Bye. Glad we finally made it over 2,000. Have a great day.